I'm with Chris Luna, and you're watching Poets in Portland Eating Food. Hi, I'm with Bruce Hall. Hi, I'm with Leah Jackson, and you're watching Poets in Portland, and you're watching Poets in Portland Eating Food. Eating food.
And drinking beer.
Let's do this.
In the wine bar.
Let's do this.
Hi.
Let's do this. That's my other bearded friend.
If you're gonna do off-the-cuff comments, you're gonna have to
you look just like
get
your brother.
people's names right.
Thank you. Old Town Portland. It's not what it used to be. Shanghai tunnels, burlesque theaters, female impersonators and drag queen shows. Talking danger and excitement. And now it's replaced with gentrification. Sure, it's still got the donut shops and coffee shops, the microbreweries and food carts. But it's changing. Even Mother's Bistro now has moved locations. But now it's just around the corner on Ash Street. Still has that same atmosphere though. Still the same service and good homey food. Still the same mirrors. It's quintessential Portland. And it's just good. Which is why we wanted to take Christopher Luna here for lunch. The Pied Piper of the Vancouver poetry scene. He's been running the monthly reading series, Ghost Town Poetry Open Mic. Going on for now 15 years and counting. A graduate of the Jack Kerouac School of Disembodied Poetics in Boulder, Colorado. He's actually a New York transplant, one who writes and creates collage art and is inspired by mass transit. C-Tran, the Max, the subway in New York. This guy is a people person. He just needs to be around people. He's also the inaugural Poet Laureate of Clark County. Chris Luna teaches poetry and memoir in Portland and the Couve. And with his wife and partner, Tony Lambrazo Luna, the two have co-founded Printed Matter Vancouver, a small press and editing service. We meet him at Ank's Gallery, where he's finishing up one of his memoir classes, which will later fill up in the evening, filled with poets from all over the Portland area and the Couve for the Ghost Town Poetry Open Mic.
This is
Professor Chris.
called Writing Your Life Story. We're just wrapping things up. But
You guys are doing a memoir class?
yeah,
This is the
reading
memoir.
our life story.
I'm in the memoir class. I just broke into the memoir class to see my friend Chris. What's up, buddy? All right, here we are. I'm going to adjust this right now.
So here we are. Where are we? Southwest 4th?
I don't know. We're by the Derby place.
And
Look at
Oak
that.
Street.
We're by a bunch of
Think about
hats.
getting another hat, except I probably can't afford the hats if they have it. You know what I mean?
And we're going to go to Mother's Bistro right now.
All right. So I'm gonna want to do like season 5 or 8 when you actually have a budget, and then I'll make
Yeah.
you buy me a hat.
Okay, that'll be fine. Going into Mother's. I had to take Chris to a nice restaurant because this is he's one of the nicest poets out there in all of Vancouver, all of Portland, all of the West Coast, maybe even New York City.
I'm glad you noticed that, because you know what? It takes a lot of hard work to be this nice, because this is a lot of. Hey man.
Hey, how are you?
I think they said to us that you're a poet also. Is that true?
They told us that
Yeah.
you're our poet
Jason
leader.
Castor. We performed together before.
Were you at?
How you doing?
Yeah, look
You
at
at your-
Lisa.
Yeah, how you doing?
With Zigzag?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Because I didn't do this last one because of that.
What do you have to eat?
I'm gonna go with the tuna salad.
Tuna salad or the tuna salad sandwich?
Do you have the tuna salad sandwich also? No, I want the tuna salad.
Maybe.
So you're talking about collage. You're talking about collage poetry, and a lot of like what I see with some of these collage poems, like when I see with your new book, like some of the collages, they're kind of wacky, and they're kind of like it's hard to like put your finger on like what it is that we're talking about, because we're using other people's source material. And so it kind of reminds me a little bit about like Dadaism, which is kind of like art of the absurd. And can you talk a little bit about
Well, Dada, to me, like Dadaism,
Did that inspire you at all?
historically also like it kind of folds into surrealism, and I'm interested in both things. I'm interested in chance. I'm interested in the way which our everyday lives feel kind of surreal, like things happen that feel random or that don't seem to quite go together, like paradoxes, that kind of stuff. And when you're working with source material, I think it's easier for it to go in that direction because you're more playful with the stuff because it wasn't ripped straight out of your chest.
And some people, it's an amazing art form, and it reminds me so much of DJ Shadow. The way he'll throw in a whole lot of like little pieces. Or who's the guy that used to work with the Beastie Boys? Was Mixmaster Mike? Was it Mixmaster Mike? I think it was. Mixmaster Mike used to also work with DJ Quick, I think, and they would throw in like all kinds of little blurbs here, little blurbs there.
It's a part of the creative process, and to be honest with you, I think that when people come down on it, they're, depending on the context, it's either like they're uptight in an academic way, or with rap and stuff like that and sampling, they were coming down on just by strictly being racist, because all music and all art has illusion and has things that are borrowed.
Yeah.
So people that are uptight about that are just like people that want to be like gatekeeper types who want to like tell other people what they can and can't do. And that's bullshit. The whole reason you're in art, you're doing art, is to do whatever the hell you want.
To create.
To create something.
It's not to create what somebody else wants. It's to create what you want.
Or not to create it according to someone else's like restrictions or rules, So so I don't have a lot of patience for that. The reason I'm writing poetry and trying to make art is because of the freedom of it, because I can learn things and explore. And
can you read that Max Ernst quote that's in the book?
Yeah.
Because it's like a definition of what.
And I saw this in a
what collage
museum
is.
when I was at the Museum of Modern Art looking at a show, and I knew some of Max Ernst's
New York
art,
or
but I
in
didn't know
San
he had done in New York. I didn't know that he had done that kind of collage. It was the first time I was seeing it. Yeah, so he says, the collage technique is the systematic exploitation of the accidentally or artificially provoked encounter of two or more foreign realities on a seemingly incongruous level, and the spark of poetry that leaps across the gap as these two realities are brought together. Well, I'm a poet because of Allen Ginsberg, and he has this thing in one of his poems, The Hydrogen Jukebox. It's about the spark or the energy that's created when you bring things together that don't seem like they should be together. And then there's this letter by John Keats about negative capability. So he defines negative capability of being able to hold on to contradictory ideas without any irritable grasping after fact or reason. And I realized that was one of those kinds of things that makes your life better and also makes your poetry better, because artists live in that in-between space.
The contradictions.
Where we're comfortable with not knowing things, or we're comfortable with the idea that we're not going to get the answer to everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you don't try to find an answer, but we realize that there might not be a final answer to all these questions that we have.
Oh wow, that was so good.
Thank you.
It was great. That was so good.
So I'm assuming that you're going to want to get shots of this food before we destroy it.
Oh yeah. All right, this is probably what I should have ordered because it looks amazing right there.
It's crab cakes and some.
I ordered a tuna salad and it's kind of making me depressed right now. All right. So Chris is smarter than me. He ordered the crab cake sandwich, and it comes with French fries. Those French fries look amazing.
I don't know if it's smart.
I got my salad, my tuna fish salad, with no French fries.
Ian is doing the right thing and I'm doing the wrong thing.
Well,
Do you know Highlights Magazine?
yeah.
Goofus and Gallant?
Yeah. You're Goofus, I'm
I'm
Gallant today.
Goofus right now.
Sometimes it's more fun to be Goofus
It
though.
definitely is, man. He definitely knows how to party, that guy. Yeah, I definitely need to eat more salad. I think I'm going to try to follow your example after I finish these French fries. I don't usually pay that much attention to like what the place looks like, but I really do like some of the atmosphere here.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's still very interesting. We keep places up with really cool frames on the mirrors and the pictures on the wall.
Well, they recently moved. They were in a different location, and this is my first time at this location. But they used to. I think it was a little bit smaller, but now they're able to do more stuff. I guess I don't know.
So you really like the mirrors in this place. That made me think about how, like poets, when they, we write a lot of the stuff that we write in first person, right?
Yeah.
So everybody assumes it's autobiographical. But like even when you're writing about your own life in a poem, you are still wearing a mask. You know? But one of the things about wearing a mask is when you wear a mask, you can reveal more. You know, it's like you can speak deeper truths with the mask on.
Yeah.
So
So I love in the book of collages, you've got like so many acknowledgements in there, like where you got your pieces, where you got your lines, where you like
right.
you're giving
Feels
so
like the
much
right thing
credit
to do,
in there.
Yeah.
And at the same time, and then in the back, you've got like you're explaining and you're giving acknowledgement to so many people in there. That's one thing that I really wish I had done differently with when I did my first book. Was that I wish I had an acknowledgement section in there where I could talk about like who it was that helped me make this book possible, and like
Well, when you write something like that, you know
dedication.
that some people will skip it and not read it, and for other people, it'll be very important. So
for
it
the
was
people
important
that-
to me. I wanted people to know
And for
what
the
my
people that-
process was, what my philosophy behind it was, but I knew that when I put it there, some people will actually read it and some will skip it. Even the footnotes in the book that tell you where the individual lines come from.
Yeah.
Some people are probably just not even going to read those, but that's okay. I feel like it's the right thing to do to acknowledge the places where I got the material from, you know? Yeah.
But like you see that like in hip hops and in hip hop music or drum and bass music or experimental beats and stuff like that, and they'll have their source material, and you have to really search to find out where that source material comes from. You have to find out like you have to really search to dig like where are they getting that drum and bass line from? Where are they getting that?
It's part of the fun of the adventure, right?
Yeah. Where are you getting that sample? Who is that like?
Well,
Monty
here's-
Python person reading
Here's
something
what I
silly
really
or
love.
something.
I love jazz music. I love when I'm listening to jazz on the radio, and suddenly I hear something that I heard a million times in NWA or whatever it was that I was listening to. And that's where that came from. You knew it came from something like that, but I had never heard the original song, and I had to love that.
Or when the Beastie Boys mixed, I'm going back to New York City, I didn't believe I'd had my fun. And then they go, boom, 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 pop, boom, 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 pop. And I'm like, what the hell is that? That just sounds so amazing. And then I finally heard the Bob Dylan, and I'm like, oh, that was Dylan.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So when they sample something like that, and you're like, oh, that's so neat.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, having a kid, it changes you so much. It's
does.
like becoming a father, you totally become a different person.
Yeah, and you can't really remember who you were before, but the thing is, most of us are more sort of self-involved.
Yeah.
So anything that makes you less self-involved is probably a good thing, especially for poets, right? I mean, we're just like, we have the ego disease sometimes, or it's easy to fall into it, right?
Rail yard soundscapes. Do you appreciate the symphony in the sound of the boxcar as it clangs and clacks across the tracks? The sound of commerce, trade, adventure, time travel, the song to accompany our limitless possibilities. Fear kills, a litany of excuses. Everything hurts constantly, like neurasthenia. 1,000 tiny needles at the periphery of our consciousness remind us of our chronic apathy and inertia, distract us from the panic which provokes action. Easier to remain complacent, denying encroaching calamity, than to render ourselves vulnerable to the discomfort and hardship of vision. Studio love for Joey Thomas, and Joey Thomas is one of the people that organizes that inland poetry crowd in Ellensburg. Studio love. What a privilege to manifest what moments earlier did not yet exist, to make something happen simply because we desire it to be so, to give flesh to thoughts and ideas previously unimagined. Poem beginning and ending with a line by Holly Matthews. He was in that liminal state between confusion and decision, between intuition and action, measuring consequences, reviewing precedents, wondering about reverberations, until the time for contemplation ceased and he stepped forward, consoled by symmetries.